Hello everyone, welcome to the course on genetics. In this video we are going to study the new chapter, new concept, that is multiple alleles. So in this video we will discuss definition, concept and characteristics of these multiple alleles. So what are multiple alleles? We should know first. When a gene will mutate to give rise either more than two or many alleles or allelic forms, then that new different types of alleles are known as multiple alleles. So it is commonly known that a gene consists of two alternative allelic forms, one being dominant, that is wild, and other is recessive. So it is evident that mutant allelic forms have been developed from the wild form of allele. It is possible that wild allelic form may mutate more than one way and can produce different mutant allelic forms. It is also possible that mutant forms of alleles can also mutate again to give another forms of mutant alleles. So it is possible for a gene to have many allelic form, and it is referred to as multiple alleles. The total number of possible different allelic forms that might exist in a population of individual is often quite large. So this situation is termed as multiple allelism. So here we have to understand one thing, that if there is a gene, suppose A gene, this A gene has, if this A gene contains more than two alleles or many allelic form, then it is known as multiple allelisms. Generally we know that any gene contains only two alleles, that is, one is dominant allele, one is recessive allele. So dominant allele is also called as wild type of allele, and recessive allele is nothing but the mutant type of alleles. So in the case of multiple alleles, it happens that A, that is gene A, will contains, or it can have more than two allelic forms. Means instead of two allelic forms, it may contain more than two alleles. So this concept is called as multiple alleles. So this gene A contains, suppose, this one allele and this one allele. So generally this is called as wild type of allele, and this is called as mutant type of allele, or in other words, this is dominant allele, this is recessive allele. So this is general case we have seen in last some lectures. But here the concept is different. Instead of these two alleles, more alleles will also present here. Means this wild allele can produce or give rise to another type of some alleles. For example, A1, A2, A3. So these will be the different forms of alleles which are given by the dominant or this wild allele. These all different types of alleles are referred to as multiple alleles. So these are produced from the wild alleles, or sometimes they may be produced by the mutation of these mutant alleles. So again these mutants allele can give rise to another types of allele. For example, they may give rise to another, for example, A1 allele will give rise to another form of A1 allele, for example A1X, A1Y. So in this way, so after mutation of A1, they may also give rise to another types of alleles. So all these alleles are the alleles of gene A, and these different types of alleles will be referred to as multiple alleles. And here we have to see the total number of possible different allelic forms that might exist in a population of an individual is often quite large. So this situation is termed as multiple allelism. Means in a population of particular species, that's individuals of that population may contains or may have different types of many allelic forms, and this particular concept may be known as multiple allelism. So here we should understand that one thing, this gene A, it should contain or it may contain different types of alleles which have been either produced by the wild allele or by the mutation of different mutant forms of the alleles. So see, this is the example we discussed. If there is a gene A, it will form its mutant forms A. Means the A gene, it is wild type of allele and it may give rise to mutant forms, that is A, and also give rise to other stable alleles or allelic forms like A1, A2, A3, A4, AN, etc. So such alleles are known as multiple alleles. Multiple alleles have been used by many geneticists for analyzing the nature of genes. So in different studies, geneticists, they have used these multiple alleles for the analysis of genetic nature of genes. How or what are the characteristics of genes? It is possible that many alleles play very important role in the proper analysis of a gene. Some multiple alleles are more complex than they were thought to be at first. So these multiple alleles may be more complex as or than they thought to be at first. So when they are discovered, they are not thought to be very complex, but the further studies, they said that multiple alleles will be more and more complex. So to detect more multiple alleles representing a large variety of genotypes which they produce, and to understand the phenotypic relationship among the alleles, geneticists developed and adopted different methods and ideas, and they are studying multiple alleles by using these methods. So after discussing the definition and concept of multiple alleles, we will proceed to next part, that is characteristics of multiple alleles. So multiple alleles have different 5 characteristics, and it can be seen in all types of multiple allelic genes. So first and very important character is multiple alleles of a series always reside at the same locus in the chromosomes. Means multiple alleles will not found in different locus, they will present on a same locus of a chromosome. Means these are the alleles of that gene only, and they will not found distributed anywhere on the chromosome and found to be reside on the same locus which is on the chromosomes. So this is very important point. Multiple alleles of a series always reside at the same locus in the chromosomes. Next, as all the alleles are present on the same locus in the chromosome, there will be no crossing over occurs between alleles of multiple allelic series. So we should know that crossing over, we will see in next videos, crossing over will be takes place on the alleles of different locus, but here all alleles are present on same locus, so there will be no crossing over among all these alleles. Third, multiple alleles always influence a similar character because they have the same origin. So multiple alleles always influence the same character, means they will be, for example, any gene, it will have the capacity to express phenotype. For example, here color, suppose if this here color it is expressed by a particular gene, for example gene A, all the alleles of that gene, they will influence the same character, that is the here color. So for example in Drosophila, all the alleles of the white eye locus affect eye color. So here we have taken example Drosophila. So the all alleles are influencing the white eye locus and it is referred to eye color of the Drosophila. Next, fourth is the wild type allele is usually dominant. The other alleles of the series may show dominance or cause intermediate phenotypic effect when two different alleles come together in the same genotype. So this is also very important, as we have seen the first allele from which mutant alleles have been raised. So that allele is called as wild type of allele. So this allele is always or usually that type of allele is dominant. The other allelic forms or other alleles of a series may show dominance or cause intermediate phenotypic effect when two different alleles come together. Means sometimes it may happen that instead of wild allele, other mutant alleles may show dominance or they may cause intermediate effect. So they show the example of codominance here, means if there is a gene A and it contains different types of alleles, suppose capital A is the dominant allele or it is wild type of allele, usually this type of allele is dominant, but in some cases it may happen that other types of mutant alleles, that is A, A1, A2, they may become dominant. So instead of A, they also show the dominance. Or suppose this A is expressing phenotype, or in the reaction of codominance, this A may also give some phenotypic traits or phenotypic characters, so that the formed offspring will have intermediate phenotype. Means there is not only A is dominant, this small a allele, it should have the dominant effect on the phenotype. So such type of phenotype is known as intermediate phenotype. So not in all the cases wild type of allele only is the dominant, sometimes the mutant alleles may show dominance. Fifth case or fifth type of character, when any two alleles of the same series are crossed, the phenotype will appear of a mutant type and not of wild type. So here one thing is very clear, that when any two allele, that is wild allele or mutant allele, if they are crossed with each other, the phenotype will be always mutant type and not the wild type. So if we will allow these alleles, any alleles to cross, then the phenotype or the offspring which will be produced by this cross, it will be always mutant type and not wild type. So all these are the characteristics of multiple alleles. So this is all about multiple alleles. We discussed the concept, definition and characteristics of multiple alleles. In next videos, in next lectures, we will discuss about the examples of multiple alleles. Thank you.